It is my pleasure to welcome you here for the second day of International Hemodialysis course. Really, it is an unusual pleasure to have today Professor Donia. He is my colleague and friend, and is very professional in hemodialysis, and he is very interested in interventional nephrology, and he is one of the founders of Interventional Nephrology Committee within the Egyptian Society of Nephrology and Transplantation. Today, Professor Donia will present here a lecture, and then we will move to the teaching room to start application of what he will present. So he will going to present the anatomy of the central veins, how to block these veins, and the policies and the procedures, and then we will move to apply in the teaching rooms. So it is a pleasure to introduce Professor Donia.
Thank you very much. So I will start with introduction to temporary hemodialysis line replacement. Among possible complications after central line insertion, infection is a very important complication. That's why antiseptic technique is a must to insert a central line. Additionally, a number of mechanical complications could happen. Therefore, we should know at least the minimum requirements of anatomy, and we should not insert the central line as if we are going into a journey for unknown land. We should convert percutaneous approach from line technique to a visualized one through the use of ultrasound guided insertion. So we have internal jugular, femoral vein, and subclavian veins for insertion. Internal jugular is the most commonly used vein for cannulation, and it is the most ultrasound friendly. On the other hand, femoral vein cannulation has the highest success rate and the least mechanical complications, no pneumothorax, no hemothorax. We should avoid subclavian cannulation for hemodialysis catheter insertion. So, right internal jugular is our first choice, followed by left one, then femoral, then subclavian at the bottom of the list. And this is the regular or normal shape of double lumen temporary catheter. And we have two informations. The first is the length of the catheter, usually calculated from this point to the tip of the catheter. And the usual length to be used is 15 centimeters for right internal jugular, 20 centimeters for left internal jugular, and a bit longer one, 24 centimeters for femoral catheter cannulation. Not only length is important, but also diameter, which could be assessed by what's called French size. French is the outer diameter of the cross-section of the catheter. And the usual French choice for adult catheter cannulation is from 11.5 to 15.5. This is an example of a commercial catheter group available in Egypt. So, for example, this one is 11.5 French, 15 centimeters, suitable for right internal jugular catheterization, and this is 20 centimeter length for left internal jugular catheterization, and this longer one is for femoral catheter insertion. And you can find both French and length printed here on the manifold of the catheter. And we have more than one shape for the temporary catheter. This regular straight one, usually used for femoral catheterization, and a number of curved ones for better compliance, better function, and comfort of the patient. So let us start with internal jugular vein, which is the most commonly cannulated vein in our practice. And here is aortic arch, and we have only one innominate artery, which will be divided into right common carotid artery and right subclavian artery. On the left side, both arteries, common carotid and subclavian, will rise directly from the arch of the aorta. On the other hand, we have two innominate veins, right and left. Both will drain internal jugular vein, external jugular vein, which is apparent here when we shout, and subclavian vein. This will end with left and right innominate veins, which will meet to form subclavian superior vena cava. Here is external. I'm sorry, I was using the cursor, but it's not working. Sorry about that. So this is external jugular vein, and we have sternomastoid muscle, two heads of sternomastoid muscle. Between them is anterior neck triangle. Internal jugular vein above is shown here. So, at the level of the thyroid cartilage, internal jugular vein will come behind sternomastoid muscle And then it will appear between the two heads of the sternomastoid in the triangle here, from apex, and you will go in the triangle, and then it will meet subclavian vein to form an innominate vein. Again, this is internal jugular vein. Right internal jugular is preferred for cannulation compared to left one. Straighter cord, bigger one, lower side.
لكن الليد والكسر استبان حتى عندك هنا في الايه
We have the visibility of puncturing the artery, the common carotid artery, because internal jugular vein and the common carotid are two dear neighbors. On the right side, as we are going downward, both colleagues will separate. On the left side, the mates will come closer to each other when we are going to the neck root. Therefore, right side is preferred than left one. Internal jugular vein has lower complications compared to subclavian vein, lower mechanical complications. In addition, internal jugular vein could be distensive. Doing valsalva or treadmill nerve position will make internal jugular vein more prominent. In addition, rotation of the neck
وانا لما اشتغل على
النهارده عندنا ضيوف هيبقوا الحاجه الثانيه اللي عايز لسه اسماء الفيرست مين
slightly like 30 degrees will make cannulation easier, but there is one trick here that severe rotation of the neck, like 90 degrees, will not improve cannulation, and moreover will make arteries and veins closer. There is a greater possibility when you rotate the neck to 90 degrees to puncture the artery. So rotate the neck, but only 30 degrees.
أنا أقول لهم يعدوا أنا
Another important point that prolonged palpation of carotid pulse will decrease diameter of the vein. This is astonishing because we are palpating the pulse, and this should not affect the vein. However, because artery and vein are included in carotid sheath, so palpation of the artery might also affect the size of the vein. This is the vein on the lateral side, and this is carotid artery on the medial side. We have three main approaches for internal jugular cannulation. The first one is anterior approach, coming like that. And the second one is posterior approach, coming from the posterior aspect of the muscle, avoiding external jugular vein. It's like that. And the most commonly used approach, which is central approach. And we have two types of central approach, which is cannulating the vein between two heads of sternocleidomastoid muscle. We have central high approach. This is anterior triangle. If you start cannulation from here, this is at the apex of the triangle. This is high approach. And low approach, which is in the middle of the triangle. Central approach is perhaps the easiest one, but there is higher possibility of pneumothorax. That's why if we couldn't reach the vein after 3 centimeters, few centimeters, then you have to relocate yourself. As I have just mentioned, the use of ultrasound is almost mandatory nowadays to cannulate central veins. And this is ultrasound probe. And if we use transverse position, this is also called out of plane, because this is plane of ultrasound, and we will meet the plane at one point and then we will lose it again. On the other hand, longitudinal position of the probe is also called in plane, because you are continuously going through ultrasound plane. Again, this is out of plane or transverse position of the probe, and this is in plane or longitudinal approach. And in transverse approach, there is cross-section of both vein and artery, so they will appear like a circle. And we have to be oriented with the position of the probe. And to my mind, the best approach is to have an anatomy which is similar to the screen. So if this is left side, so it should appear on the left side of the screen. And one of the easy ways to know whether we are left or right is to just touch the probe, and it will make like indentation here. Then we know the exact position of the probe, and we will see it practically in a minute. This is the vein and this is the artery. Internal jugular vein is compressible, thin-walled structure, and ovioid. So when you compress it, it becomes like this, while artery will continue to have its shape even with pressure. Again, this is the vein and this is the artery, and after pressure, the vein will be compressible, while the artery will continue to be a circle. As I have just mentioned, Trendelenburg position will make the vein more engorged. A very important point before starting cannulation is to do ultrasound without any sterilization, just to be sure that the vein is patent. So you will probe the neck from upper to lower parts to be sure that the vein is patent. And this is an example of thrombosed vein. If you are doing it blindly, you will never know like that. Another important point for ultrasound cannulation is that the exact side of the artery vein is not always the same. Perhaps the commonest anatomy is to have the vein more superficial and more lateral compared to the artery. But we have also 15% possibility of having the vein here, or even medial. That's why ultrasound location is very important. Again, don't turn the head too much, only 30 degrees. This is an example of transverse approach, and you will allow for 1 centimeter from the middle of the probe in order to meet the plane of ultrasound. So, this is the vein and this is the artery. You will not hear like indentation on the skin. And when you have this indentation, you are mostly in the right way. And then after introducing the needle, you can see the needle on the wall of the vein here. And after puncturing the vein, you will find the needle inside the vein. How many of you are using ultrasound guided technique? So perhaps you might teach me. Apply negative pressure in order to determine whether you are inside the vein. Not only the needle could be seen, but also the guide wire could also be seen. You should not look to your hands while you are doing the technique, because this will be like driving a car while looking at your feet. However, at some point, if you don't hit the vein and you'd like to change your position, you have to look at your hands. And this is a longitudinal view. And instead of the cross section we have just seen in the transverse view, we have the artery and vein longitudinally cut. That's why they will appear like that. And again, the vein will be compressible. And here we can find the needle like that. And here's the needle inside the vein. There is one suggested easy way for colleagues who are starting using ultrasound is to do transverse view first to be sure that the vein is patent, and then to shift to longitudinal view, and then to mark upper and lower ends of longitudinal view. Then we will draw a line here, and then either to leave ultrasound machine and go through this line, and this is called static technique, or to use dynamic technique, which could be through transverse view or longitudinal view. In transverse view, you will put the probe in the middle of the line you have just drawn it now, and you will enter the needle through the line, while in the longitudinal view you will simply follow the line. There is also one trick that in transverse view the angle is usually more like 60 or 45 degrees. While in longitudinal view cannulation, the needle is more tangential to the skin. Again, this is variable from patient to another. Having few words about femoral vein, which is more difficult to cannulate it through ultrasound guided technique. Perhaps one of the important points in femoral vein cannulation that we are not fully aware of anatomy of femoral area. We have external iliac vessels and internal iliac vessels. External iliac vessels will continue by femoral vessels. We have superficial femoral vein and artery and deep femoral vein and artery. As you can see here, deep vessels are on the lateral side and will join the main femoral vein and artery here. Additionally, femoral vein has more territory. So we have a medial territory, which is great saphenous vein, which will end in femoral vein. So we have the main superficial femoral vein here. Profunda femoris vein will come to join it here from the lateral side, and great saphenous vein will join it from the medial side. That's why we sometimes cannulate the vein, but we fail to pass the guide wire. And it is sure it is a vein, but guide wire is not going well because we are either here or there. So the traditional blind femoral technique is to go 2 to 3 centimeters inferior to inguinal ligament and one centimeter medium to avoid the artery. So femoral vein is medial to the artery, while internal jugular vein is lateral to the artery. However, using ultrasound technique,